Hello, my name is Nicole, and for those of you who do not know me, welcome. I'm your relationship coach and motivational speaker. And for those of you who do know me, welcome back to my channel. So, if you're familiar with my channel, you know, unfortunately, my mom is extremely toxic. I have been around the block so many times with her dealing with CPS, and I'm an empty nester now. And so I want to give you some gems because people always talk about gatekeeping, and I don't want to gatekeep because what I went through with my mom was extremely, like, it was on next level, like words can't even describe, right? And so let me tell you, because my mom is toxic, I don't know my dad. So that was the first thing, right? Then she's extremely toxic. So that's like, you don't know your dad, your mom's extremely toxic, and then she, keeps on calling CPS and keeps on interfering with your relationship with your son. So those are like next level stress, right? On top of, being responsible, being an adult, taking care of you, health is wealth, being responsible, paying your bills, etc., etc. How did I do it? 2 words: Jesus Christ. But let me break this down for you. In the Bible, it talks about like an idle mind is the devil's playground and a sober mind, right? So with growth is pain. So as I'm going through this, it's extremely painful, right? Because you already have to deal with the fact of like not knowing your dad and the fact that you might not ever know your dad. So you never get over it, but you learn to cope. And then I didn't always know that my mom was toxic. I didn't find that out until later on in life because it's levels. So at some point you have hope that things are going to change and things are going to get better, until one day you realize she's Judas at the table, and a person who is jealous of you can never be friends with you, right? So the way I was able to overcome so much is just by having a sober mind. Because see, oftentimes like people self-medicate, and you self-medicate, you numb the pain. But just because you numb it doesn't mean that it went away. It's still there. So on the other side of pain is pleasure. So it's like every time you go through something, it builds up your tolerance, and God will reveal things to you as you go, right? So like, God's not going to give you all the answers at one time, because that's just not what he does, because we work for him. He doesn't work for us, and we're here to serve him. He's not here to serve us. So you can manifest what you like, right? But God's not going to take you out of a season until he's ready to take you out of a season. It's kind of like you're in like Christian boot camp, right? And so every time you go through hardship, it's like it makes you stronger. Like some of these things really aren't just sayings. It's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And it's never what you go through. It's, did you come out on the other side? And so the devil's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. So because it's spiritual and he can't physically touch you, and whatever God gave you is meant for you, the only thing he can do is distract you from your purpose, right? And so he'll send people. And for me, it was my mother, right? Like, she pretends to be Christian and a Bible thumper, but nobody who loves their child would ever do half of the things that she's done to me, right? And so your faith and your love has to be so strong with Jesus that you have a risk it all. So you know how like people get in relationships and they want their partner to love them unconditional and check in and respect them and value them and be faithful to them? Where do you think you get those feelings from? You only feel like that because, we're created in God's image. So everything you want from your spouse is everything that he wants from you. So, you can't have a hypocrite mindset. You can't be like, oh, I want my spouse to do this, I want my spouse to do that, but you won't give it to God, right? So a gem I'm going to give you is when I'm going through all this stuff with my mom, like, my mom's been calling children's services for 12 years, right? I just, even when I would get frustrated with God, I still acknowledged that he was real. I still acknowledged his greatness. I still acknowledged that even though, like, I don't think I picked her, you know what I mean? They say, like, kids and stuff, like, pick their parents in heaven. And I'm like, God, of all people, you gave me her. Like, come on. But I still knew that he loved me. I still knew he had my back. And I still knew that if he was allowing me to go through this, it was for a reason, right? And so I remember, a couple of people revealed certain things to me. I had a close friend tell me, like, man, I'm glad I don't have a parent like that. And I was like, I know, right? And I thought about it. And, like, unfortunately, a lot of men go through this with their kids. Like, men oftentimes get a bad rap, like, oh, he don't want his kids. Oh, he's a bad dad. No, a lot of that stuff be interference. If a man could just come and be a father with no drama, no child support, like, even if he just getting the kids when it's convenient for him. Listen, I'm a mom. I was in labor for 28 hours. I carried my son for 9 months. I breastfed my son for 6 months. I'm an empty nester now. Nobody wants to go to work all day, pay these overpriced bills, and come home to drama. Nobody. And my son's dad is in his life. He's been in his life the entire time, right? I'm an empty nester now, so I'm extremely excited about it. And when my son was 2 weeks old, I gave his dad a DNA test just because I never wanted him to come back and be petty. It's like, no, we're going to get this out the way now. And no, my son's dad is not on child support because my bills, I would still have bills even if I didn't have my kid, right? So this is not karma. This is not, oh, you did this or this happened to you. No, my mom is just toxic and it just is what it is. But I just want to tell you that the way to overcome stuff is put all your faith, your love, your trust, your guidance, your discernment, all of that into Jesus Christ. Jesus will send you people to help you. He will send you people to love you. He will send you people with wisdom. I had a friend tell me, because I'm an Army brat, I traveled, with my mom, and I'll never forget, I was on the phone, and one of my good friends, well, unfortunately, I've had a couple of people who've lost their mom, right, and who are close to me, and I had a friend tell me, and they were like, I was like, oh my God, of all people, Jesus, you gave me her. So I'm on the phone, I'm venting to my friend. They said, well, if your mom wasn't your mom, you wouldn't know me. And I thought about it, and I never looked at it from that perspective, because, oftentimes we have tunnel vision and we don't see what we mean to other people because we're just so distracted by our frustration and our stress. And that's exactly what the devil wants to do. His job is to kill, steal, and destroy. So since he can't take from you what God has given to you, he wants to distract you from it. And that's why he wants you to self-medicate and stuff like that. Now, I've been in therapy for the last 12 years, right? I'm very blessed to have a good therapist. And, people have different views on therapy, but I love therapy because it's a non-biased opinion, because sometimes your close people, they get tired of hearing about it. Sometimes you get tired of telling them about it. But your psychiatrist is a paid best friend, and it's a blessing to have someone of that perspective. Plus, with her keep on calling CPS, it's paperwork. America is not based on what you know, it's based on what you can prove. So I just wanted to share this with you, is that it is possible to overcome. It is possible to do it sober. It is possible to, have a toxic parent and still turn out good. It is possible to be an empty nester and enjoy your best life. All things are possible. But I could never have done this without the love, support, and guidance of Jesus Christ. My name is Nicole, I'm your relationship coach and your motivational speaker. God bless you.